Okay, I think we are live. Let me just kill the music. Welcome to this live streaming. If you are new here, my name is Verma Henry, and I am a product designer based here in Johannesburg, South Africa. And today is Vibe Coding Day. So I want to do a couple of things today, and I wanted to ask you guys to, if you're watching this live, to please jump in into the chat and kind of like give me whatever your suggestions of what you would like to see me build today. Now, if you're new to vibe coding, it's basically a way or a concept where we can use non-coding. Well, there are kind of coding tools, but non-traditional coding tools that we can basically prompt with AI to be able to generate the stuff that we want, right? So if you're new to that concept, I understand how it could be, but I've been doing this for a little bit of time now, maybe about 6 or so months since I found Cursor a while back ago in 2024, and I've just been enjoying kind of like vibe coding really. So I can see that we don't necessarily have anything in the request, so I wanted to start maybe today by going around the tools that I want to be using today for this session, right? So I'm going to be using a few tools that I have set up here, and I am still logging in with my burner account because I want to show you the experience of what it would look like if you're just new to this tool and you're basically trying it out, right? How far you can go with this type of stuff. I'm just gonna finish signing up for my Replit account here. All right, cool. So let me take it to my screen and share that with you so that you can see what's happening here. So when it comes to AI generated software, there are a few routes that you can go. I'm going to start with tools that probably don't need you to have any coding experience, understanding what an IDE is, etc., etc. Right? So this is really just simple to use codes, and I think it's really meant for the public out there, right? People like you and me, and whenever we kind of like have ideas that we want to share and things like that, it's easy. Let me just adjust my head here because I'm being cut off way too much, and bring myself a little bit closer, a little bit in there. So these tools that I'm going to show you first, they don't necessarily need you to have any existing knowledge of how to program, how to write code and things like that, because the idea here is that they are using a thing called AI agents in the background, and basically what an AI agent is a set of AI bots that kind of like go out and do different things based on what you ask it to do. And I'm guessing behind each of these tools there is some sort of an AI agent that would go and build out whatever you ask it to, right? So I'm going to start with some of the tools that I use every day. I've been trying to use Bolt for some time now, and it's just not working when I try and sign in and things like that. So we're gonna keep it short and sweet. We're gonna be using Lovable, which is the first tool that we're gonna be using. We're gonna be using Replit. We're gonna be using VO by Vercel. I don't know why my throat is so bad. Let me try take down the music because I think the music is actually distracting at this point. Let's kill that and just keep it there. And then I'm going to be using a tool called Cursor, which is this big blank thing that I have here. And what I want to try and do is to see how each of these tools perform when it comes to having the same prompt, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to prompt them basically uh, for um, for a specific task, right? I don't know. I don't know what to build today. I really don't know. I've been building so many things with this, but maybe let's do something simple, because one thing that I've noticed is that when it comes to complex things, you'll probably need more tokens and, kind of like the full version for each of these platforms, right? I've just signed up freshly right now with a new trial account on each one of them. So let's see what we can build. So maybe I'm just gonna open my text editor here, and I'm going to do this on the side here and type a prompt around maybe just one thing that we can build today, just one thing, right? Let me close our mate here. So maybe the go-to thing is usually like a to-do list app if you want to see how these things work. But I want to try something a little bit complex. Maybe let's go for a maybe let's try to do I don't want to do something like a portfolio website or something that is simple. I want to do something that has got a little bit of functionality so that it can actually, you know, we can actually see if the thing would work or not, right? So yeah, maybe let's just go for a to-do list. So create this is what I'm typing in my text here. Create, or maybe let me just type it in one of the fields here. Create a to-do list app that can run in the browser and can be hosted easily and hosting make it look modern and use the best SaaS like elements and design. Maybe we should give it something extra to do. Maybe let's figure out if we can, let's say, create a function where users can time their items in the to-do list using a Pomodoro method. Okay, so we're basically saying that create a to-do list app that can run within the browser. We want it to be easy to host, be easy to, just keep up there somewhere. And we want this to also look modern, with kind of like SaaS-like elements, so all of those cool, new, clean UI type of elements. And I also wanted to create a function where the users can time, right, their items on the list, using the Pomodoro method to be able to go through that list. I think that's a pretty cool app. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it across. So I'm just going to pull out these tabs here, to see if I can run all of these next to each other, and see what comes out of that. Because one thing that I've noticed is that sometimes when you run and you're switching tabs, and the window itself is not active, um, yeah, it kind of like gets a little bit cranky. I'm also gonna open my cursor here. So here I wanted to have an agent. Cool. So I'm gonna paste this here. And then I'm gonna paste that there. And then I'm gonna paste that in Lovable. And I'm gonna try and go click as fast to start building across all four of them. Let's see. Okay, go, go, go. Where's cursor? Cursor, you're lagging behind now. Go. All right. So right now I'm burning lots and lots of GPU power, potentially a lot of water as well, and things like that. So yeah, let's see what comes out of this, folks. All right. Just gonna monitor here. So one cool thing that Replit does that I pretty like is that before it proceeds and just builds this thing for you, it kind of like creates a plan, right? You know, it says, okay, build the initial prototype of this thing, but would you like any of these additional features, right? Add categories and text for better organization, implement test statistics and insights, add customizable Pomodoro settings, enable the other AIs are already doing something here. VO is already doing something here. So let's, I think I'm going to pick just a few of this so that it doesn't kind of, go too far with this. I'm going to pick just the top three and see what it does. So I'm going to approve that plan and off it goes. Let's see what is happening in the world of Cursor. So let me explain Cursor while it's doing its thing, right? So Cursor is actually running as a desktop app on my app, so it's actually using my computer as the development environment, right? And this development environment that it's currently on is locally on my machine. So if I needed to take this code and put it somewhere else, I would need to have the knowledge of how to do that, right? So that's where it is slightly different from the other ones. You can see that the other ones are mainly running in the browser basically, and from there on you can see that this one is running locally on my machine, right? So let's see what the other ones are populated. I can already start to see some screens here. I can already start seeing other things happening, interesting things happening. Um, all right, I'm starting to see some screens here, starting to see some things happening. So Replit has the first screens out, and I like how Replit does it, right? It kind of builds everything out live for you. You can kind of like see it building, going through the process, writing the code, building the front end for you. If we go to V0, we can see that you can switch here over to the code. You can see, all of the lines of code that it has written, as well as you can go see the preview here. You can see that there's nothing in the preview yet. And then when you go on to Lovable, it does a similar thing. Currently it doesn't show the preview here, but if we switch to the code, you can see that it has went on and created all of these files for us, right? So it's that's pretty cool for that. So let's see what this is doing. So this wants me to continue with installing some stuff on my computer, and I'm gonna go yes. I don't know if this is actually gonna run or do anything, because usually it tries to install specific packages and things like that on my computer, and yeah, sometimes it just becomes too complicated. So if you are a developer, you probably know what cursor is already. And if you're not a developer, I wouldn't advise going into cursor because it will be something that um, that is basically too open for you, right? And when I say too open, I mean it just takes a little bit more understanding of code, different languages. If you are doing this in a specific language, it will require you to know how to run those things on your computer and kind of build that developer environment, right? So if you don't want to go through all of that work, and you just want to try out your hand at building something, I would definitely go the route of using um, Replit or VO0 or something else of that nature. So none of them are done so far, but I can see Replit probably has got, oh, I can't do anything on this interface yet. Um, but yeah, let's see. Let's see how they come up. Okay, so this is one of the biggest memes, right? You can see here in our lovable window, we have an error. Vibe coders just say, try to fix that, fix it again, try to fix it again. And until you get the code working, that's it. So there's actually a fascinating story. There's a dude, I forgot what his name is now, but this guy apparently created a whole 3D game. It's not a great game, but he created a whole 3D game, right, just through vibe coding. Obviously, I think that he understands, certain types of coding and things like that on how to host this specific game, right? But yeah, okay. It looks like there's something on the thing. Let's add a task. Ooh, okay. So I can add a task, priority, nice. I like the priority. Pomodoro target, 1, what? Okay, all right. Okay, it doesn't look like it's doing anything. So this is what, this is lovable. Cursor is going in and writing the code, baby. It's still busy with that. For us to be able to preview that, we're gonna have to actually um, run the code properly, as well as v0. Okay, so it looks like lovable is the only one that has actually gave us kind of like a final result and is finished. And what it wants us to do is that it wants us to test this and see how it works. So we are going to check it out. I actually can't edit task, so I'm gonna say I cannot add the task button is not working. Okay, let's see if it fixes that. See, something is happening here in Replit. Looks like it has looks like it was creating all of those components so that I can see how it looks like. We recommend using it in the new tab. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so what did Replit do for us? So let's add a task. If I code, okay, details. It's got a due date and everything. I think that's pretty cool. Pomodoro estimate 3 add task. Okay, so that one is actually working. So let's see. Can I go in and what happens when I do that? Oh, okay, that just closes the task. I can start my Pomodoro timer here. Looks like it is working. Do I have settings for the Pomodoro? All tasks today, upcoming, completed. Oh, here's my completed task. So this is pretty much working, guys. Oh, I can start a Pomodoro on this specific task. Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't think it should do that when it's incomplete, but look, it works. It works. It works. It works. So this is pretty cool. But I don't like the UI. It looks pretty basic. So let us this pretty cool. This pretty cool. I mean, just in one prompt, we've got a fully working to-do list app. Let's see if Lovable has now fixed its issues. So back to Lovable here. We are going to add a task. Can we open this in a separate browser tab maybe? Alrighty, let's see. Obviously, I like the Replit version better than the Lovable one. We gave it the same prompt pretty much. Um, but yeah, it's totally different things. Okay, cool. So now I can get that task. If I do that, I get the Pomodoro uh, being working. Um, how do I? Okay, I can't. Okay, cool. Task completed. Awesome. Alrighty. Now that is Lovable. That is Replit. Um, what is happening in the world of Cursor? So probably not going to use Cursor for most of this thing, but I wanted to illustrate basically that all of these tools do the same thing, but it takes a little bit more of hurdles to go through the Cursor route, right? Because as you can see, it writes the code for you, but if you really don't know what to do with the code, then it's something else, right? So what I am going to do is, I don't know why my stream health is poor, but I'm just going to keep going. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to ditch Cursor, right? And we're only going to focus on these three tools, right? That's if VO comes to plan. I don't know. It looks like it's still thinking. It looks like I've already kind of like hit a limit with them. I don't know. Let me just keep it in the background and see if anything comes up. So I like this interface more. I would like it to be probably a little bit more modern looking. Right. I wonder if this actually works. The search. Okay, so let's go all tasks and type vibe. Okay, doesn't look like that is working. But we've got filters. This is a way better interface. So let's see if we can steal what Replit has done. Take a screenshot of this. And we are going to pop it over here into Lovable and say update the UI to look like the app in the image. Alrighty, so let's take you back into town. Okay, cool. So what I basically did here is that I took a screenshot of our Replit generated app here, and I basically put that into Lovable and I said update the UI. What I'm gonna do in Replit is I'm going to ask it to make the UI look more modern and look more fancy. Right, so make the UI look more modern and fancy. Alrighty. So as we get to the closing of this, I am just gonna discuss a little bit around, what do you actually do with these apps after this, right? And again, like I said, in the cursor instance, you would typically have to like take that code, understand how to deploy it on the internet and things like that. Whereas here you've got different ways of publishing that code directly onto the internet. You can connect your own domain name, etc., etc. Ooh, I don't like the colors. Please don't go bonkers on me. That's the other thing, right? Is that the definition of what is modern and looks cool could be very different when it comes to you know person to person. So I'm guessing even when it comes to um, AI to AI, modern and cool looks totally different for different folks. I wonder why my streaming health is poor today, because I basically have very good internet connection. Um, yeah, I don't know what's happening here, but I'm just gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep going. Oh, my app crashed. Okay, interesting. I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, let's do a quick speed test. A quick speed test ping. Okay, I don't understand why, if that is my internet speed, why YouTube is saying that my stream health is poor. That is said. Alrighty, back to action. Okay, I hope that is probably going to come up or something. Um, build unsuccessful, error. Try to fix it. Boom. Um, it'll be interesting at the end of this session if I can actually have something that works that I can deploy onto the internet and your guys can use it. Um, it's a good thing and a bad thing when it comes to vibe coding, because people can easily just ship code that they don't necessarily know if it's 100% working, right? Or if it's safe enough to handle customer data, right? Okay, so something is weird is happening here. Um, okay, so now it's still updating stuff. It's still updating stuff. I think it updated the sidebar here. You can see I've got like a nice focus session and some colors. Yeah, it's updating stuff. All right, cool. Now, there is our lovable view. It has created something similar to what we're seeing in our Replit session here. But does it actually work? Okay, add task. Okay, cool. We can start working on that. It kicks off the timer. Pretty cool. We can say done with this task. Okay, cool. Okay, let's add another one. Okay, so that's another thing. So when I finish the task, it doesn't necessarily finish the Pomodoro session. Also, the completed one is just like a checkbox there and things like that. Let's see if our Replit code is working better. Oh, she's still going. She's still updating task, focus hours, all of that stuff. Interesting stuff. Okay, so I think you kind of like get the drift, right? So we're gonna keep on going here. I'm gonna give Lovable the same prompt here to make this look modern and fancy. And I just want you to see how the two different softwares would react, right, to a similar prompt. And one of these is going to give up on me pretty quickly. I'm guessing it will be Replit because it's done a lot of work, and it looks like it actually did a lot of stuff that's actually working, right? And the cool thing is that you've got this rollback points here where you can basically just roll back the app. I think you also have it here in Lovable. Um, Bolt, I mean V0. Yep, looks like V0 bailed on us. So it's down to the top two, right? It's down to the two that remain standing, really. Um, Alrighty, this guy is going, is going, is going. It's adding all these fancy buttons here. It's making all these fancy colors. It's making this app to look purple. I think that's what modern and cool sounds like and looks like. Whereas our friend here, Lovable, ooh, okay, she's done. Okay. Um, the problem with this now is that the Lovable one is not working 100%. So let's say make sure the functionality is working 100% as intended. Okay, let's just say that. I mean, vibe coding here. I'm not even trying to look at the code, figure out what is happening. I'm gonna keep it vague. I'm gonna, just keep telling it random stuff. Well, not random stuff, kind of like very high level stuff that you would say if you didn't know kind of like exactly um, how modern technology works, how modern web design technology works. Um, it looks like I'm getting a warning on YouTube, but my stream is still okay, still running. Status is good. So let us keep going. Let us keep going. Let us keep going. Let me check LinkedIn here. I was supposed to actually be doing this live streaming on LinkedIn. I'm seeing a V0 post here. Give it a try. Okay, V0 always V0 always stops working. I don't know if you guys have also been if you guys use Cloud, the AI chat tool. Uh, if you've recently noticed that it hardly works, it barely works. It works sometimes, and most of the time it doesn't work. Um, and I don't know if that is a ChatGPT DeepSeek thing that's happening. But yeah, recently my Cloud is either just not able to do certain things or is taking forever, right? Okay, cool. So Lovable here is a build unsuccessful. We're gonna tell it to try and fix that. Um, and then our replit guy here has updated the view, a database to store user data, maybe later. Let's wait, let's see. Alrighty, so let's see how this looks like in the new tab. Okay. Okay, so we've got a little bit of misalignment stuff in there. The timer just goes when the thing is open. Let me. Ooh, that looks terrible. That looks terrible. Trust me, I think the previous version probably looked better. The previous black and white version probably looked better and probably worked better as well. So I'm just gonna roll back before I asked it to make it more fancy. So I'm just gonna roll back to that point, and we're gonna see how this actually works. Okay, so I think it's just rolling back. Okay, run, maybe. Okay, let's add a database. Okay, so let's see if our, okay, I can already see that that is not fixed. Um, can't see where the completed tasks are. The search is not working. This version is still working, still running in the background. Okay, looks like we're adding databases there. Okay, let's revert to the initial one. Before we gave it the image. So it will be let's restore to here. Okay, so this was kind of working fine. Starts the session for you. 25 minutes of focus work. This is a tool I would actually use, guys. This is the tool I'll actually use. Would you use something like this? Do you think this is something that's useful? This is a tool I'll actually use. Oh, okay. Something is happening. It runs, stops running. But it looks good. It looks good. It's not 100% there. But I can say that it's keeping the tasks there. If I delete that, that is working fine. It's a very simple to use little Pomodoro thing. Okay, so fix resolve import error for toast. Okay, all right, cool. So it restored it there. Okay, so I'm just gonna say update the UI. Let me just say enhance the UI. All right. So I'm just gonna tell it to enhance the UI, see what it does. Here we're still building a database. We'll see what that looks like in a minute. Now we don't have, different things to to switch back and forth from. I'm gonna waste your time by just talking in between. So if you are joining this session for the first time and you don't know the other stuff that I do, check out dobetterux.com, which is where I basically spend most of my time writing about this stuff and publishing most of this stuff. We've got a weekly newsletter that I published on Sundays. So the next one is coming this Sunday. So sign up to that. And I also have a podcast that comes during the week. I've got some interesting people lined up for that podcast for this upcoming quarter, and I'm really looking forward to having some of those conversations with you guys. And if you're interested in just what I do and other things like that, head over to LinkedIn and check me out. My name is Farima Henry. The links should be in the description. And yeah, feel free to connect over in LinkedIn. Ask any questions that you might want to ask when it comes to product design, product management, careers, insights. I mainly look after early stage teams, foundational teams that are looking to find the best methods and ways for them to get from idea to product. And I've got a 6 week framework and offering that I currently have right now on my website. And if you are somebody who is within that field or know somebody who might be looking for something like that, head over to my website, firemanhenry.com, hit me up, and let's have a conversation. Let's get back to see what we got here. Okay, so it looks like our Replit has done something. So created a database connection, converted in-memory storage to database storage, added API endpoints for task Pomodoro sessions, created test data in the database. The API is working in the database now. The API properly is the app working properly? Okay, so let's try the app in a different tab again. Alrighty, our friend here has put in some color in our to-do app. Let's see how this version works. Gonna delete. Okay, so that's working. Gonna add a task. Okay, so wanna do this one today at 8 p.m. This is a high priority item. And how many Pomodoros? I would say 2. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Save changes. Start Pomodoro. Okay, cool. I'd like to have that start Pomodoro somewhere here. Yeah, this looks cool, man. I don't know how the search would work. Okay, so what I want to add onto this is that I want to make sure that when the task is completed, okay, so I want to ask it to add the start Pomodoro as a button on the task for easy access, and reset the timer when the active task is marked complete. Okay, cool. So you can clearly see that we are well on our kind of like task builder here, right? And we can clearly see that, you know, it's very easy to build this type of things. I think I'm actually going to deploy this one. It looks pretty cool. And I like the fact that I've got a task list with the Pomodoro in one thing. I think it's a pretty cool idea, actually. This could be maybe my next thing that I deploy online. Whereas this side, we have a similar thing as well. Works very similarly. Does, you know, more or less the same thing, but with just a very different UI, right? Which also works fine, right? So let's say we wanted to publish this stuff, right, and actually take it out there into the world. I feel like I could enhance this UI a little bit more. Clean, modern, and says like. Okay, cool. So I wanted to get us to that point. You can see now that with Lovable, we've kind of like hit the daily limit. It's telling us basically, hey guys, that's it for today. I thought I was gonna hit that limit a little bit quicker with Replit, to be honest, because it usually happens that way when I'm playing with these tools. Let me see. Da 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 da. Da. Add task. Okay, now I've got a little start timer thing there, and then it starts the timer, and then when I close that, it resets the thing. Awesome, awesome, right? Um, so let's talk deployment, right? If you look at both these items, they've got these little things at the top here. So the nice thing about Lovable, obviously, if you are somebody who knows how to code, how to program, is that you've got this sync project with GitHub, right? So you can basically push your code to GitHub, and you can then use any other tool for that matter to be able to access it, continue building on it, etc., etc. Or you can easily publish it right now, right? I can easily hit publish, and it'll give me a live link, and this will be ready for me to share this project with anybody on the internet currently. So I would basically go to that link right there, and from that link, if I share that with you right now, you'll be able to use the Pomodoro timer, right, on that link. So that is pretty straight up. I haven't seen any what their actual billing is around this, but that's pretty powerful. Obviously, you can connect your custom domain, add a domain, then it will want you to kind of like pay up for that specific package, right? But that's pretty cool that you can just hit publish. It gives you a URL without even having a domain. If you just want to test this, if you want to send this to some users for user testing and things like that, it's so easy for you to get the product out there. Similar thing happens here in Replit. As you can see, we've got a deploy thing here. Here is a little bit different. You can kind of like deploy it onto different places. They've got kind of like they're always on servers, they're auto scaling servers, static pages, etc., etc., and they want you to upgrade your plan to be able to deploy, which is okay, I guess. But the only thing that I haven't found that is easy to do here is to basically just export your code, right? And 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 kind of like take it somewhere similar to what Lovable does with their kind of GitHub synchronization here. So I think that GitHub synchronization is a pretty powerful tool from Lovable. But yeah, both these platforms do offer an easy way to deploy your code if you don't necessarily know how to do that, if you don't necessarily have an idea of how code deployment would work, right? So yeah, uh, that's us vibe coding today. I think I will leave it here. I think I'm pretty happy with my two Pomodoro apps. If you'd like me to share any of these with you, if you'd like me to actually publish any one of these as a real project, let me know in the comments if you're watching the replay, and I will try and publish it for you and give you guys access to it. Let me know if you think that this is a product that you would actually pay for, and I'll put a paywall on it, and I'll also give you access to it. But I pretty much like the the Replit version. Looks very nice and cool and clean. Let me see if there's a Pomodoro task uh, to do list. Pomodoro to do list. Okay, that's just a Pomodoro thing. I've used that. Simple time tracking app. I just want to see what's out there. Uh, okay. Um, click up, focus to do. Okay, so that looks like it does have. Okay. So I basically created something like this in a matter of what, 30 minutes or so within the hour that we've been streaming here. I've created two versions of it actually that I can, pick up from here and proceed to um, build in different ways and methods and things like that. So, again, if you've enjoyed this, looking forward to catching you again for next week's live stream. We'll be doing something slightly different. I haven't made up my mind right now if we'll be doing a design review, a portfolio review. But yeah, we will definitely be doing weekly live streams from here on. Look out for this week's podcast that it will be dropping tomorrow. Head over to dobetterux.com. Description has got all the links that you'll need. And I will catch you in